Alright, Happy New Year everyone. This is gonna be a different kind of video. It's mostly gonna be unscripted. I'm just gonna start making weekly reviews of the latest chapters of Castle 2 and just give my thoughts and recap it for people off the dome. So this chapter, 119, last week it ended with Gimshin and Mahakan doing the classic cross-counter punch and Gimshin was knocked out from just pure fatigue. This chapter picked up from there, and it appears that Mahakan was going to either kill Gimshin or torture him. His lines read, "Don't think about going peacefully like this." But before he could do that though, Ginte was able to floor it and drive away narrowly with Gimshin still on the hood of the car. And then the car crashed into some sort of waste disposal garbage area beyond a roller shutter door. Hakan was right there behind them, but Jinte's plan was to let Gimshin escape and go first. And so while Gimshin was knocked out, it turned into a mini 1v1 fight between Hakan and Ginte, and this was pretty interesting and the fight was pretty good too. Of course, Ginte was no match for Hakan in this state or in any state for that matter, but his plan here was really to just shut the door and buy Gimshin some time. And another interesting part is that I think this is the first time that Mahakan has seriously fought with a knife, so that was pretty cool. Shortly after, we also got a Ginte flashback of when Gimshin rescued him and Ginte experienced for the first time what it's like to be cared for. And I think every Castle fan knows what a flashback means. This was also a good look into why Ginte is so loyal to Gimshin, because that was genuinely like the only time that he had ever felt freedom. And he says that he swore that day that when the time comes that Gimshin is in his most precarious position, he would be the one to get him out. And there's some excellent and really gnarly choreography here because they were fighting in that area as the roller shutter door was coming down. You literally see Jinte's head just slam into it. But in the midst of all of that, Ginte did manage to close the door. But just as he was celebrating that, Hakan says something very interesting. He says that little brothers often don't know how their big brothers feel. They go through so much trouble to help them, to impress them, but in the end it is really just unnecessary and meaningless. But Hakan says that he has no ill will towards Ginte, and that on the contrary he quite likes guys like Ginte. This is obviously a reference to Ma Junyang, but Ginte was just like, is this something a sane human says? Then literally in the next few panels, Ginte got his, like the half of the right side of his neck just carved out, and that's it. And he screamed out loud in his final moments, which only then does Gimshin wake up. Many suspect that this isn't really out of pain or agony, but really just so that Gimshin can hear him. He was looking out for him to the bitter end. Gimshin finally woke up, but it was too late. And what makes this really tragic is that Ginte called Gimshin Hyung. This is important because he usually always calls him Daejang or boss, both of which means leader, captain, or just boss. But Hyung is just like a lot more intimate big brother. And Gimshin crawled out of the shutter door as it was closing, but yeah, his fears were confirmed. It was too late. Here we got Mahakan saying that, well, we've both lost countless comrades and even including our brothers, and we've both failed our missions, so we're even. This part is quite interesting because it confirms that Mahakan went against Choi Min-wook's orders, and there's no looking back for him as well. He knows that this is it. This is without a doubt the final fight, like everything is out of the way, it's just between them now. I don't know if I love it, like even with the Super Saiyan kind of rage boost, Gimshin really shouldn't be able to do this. Of course, one of the other popular prevailing opinions too is that Ujin will interfere, but I'm really not sure. I mean, he should, that's what I thought should happen, but this chapter explicitly frames Gimshin and Mahakan as equals and parallels, so I think the death of Ginte will send both Ujin and Gimshin over the edge respectively. Like, this is gonna be the vehicle that really drives them to conflict. This is the last straw. Gimshin has lost the one thing that anchors him to some sort of humanity. Like, Ginte is the only one who can get like a human reaction out of Gimshin with anything. And to Ujin it's now clear that Gimshin is a threat to everyone's safety. I believe that's how we get the prologue scene, but Whether or not they'll team up against Mahakan remains to be seen. I mean, they really should. Otherwise, the power scaling problems are just gonna continue and continue if they haven't gone over the hill already. And I think it'd be pretty interesting if after everything, Ujin is the one to land the kill shot on Hagyang and not Kim Shin. I know that is unlikely, but Ujin needs that big look before the end. For someone who is practically the deuteragonist is kinda crazy like how featless he is. Even Pyongyang has a better record than him right now. But yeah, this has just been a short video recapping and analyzing the latest chapter of Castle 119. I want to keep doing this as a weekly thing, just chatting casually without a script, and especially so that some of you guys can know what's happening with the manhwa before the translations are out. I'm not gonna put too many panels in this kind of video because Naver is probably gonna be pretty strict about their latest chapters that are still paywalled even in Korea. But yeah, so far it has been Edward Takeshi. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.